Yes.
Go.
Okay, you're good. So today you're gonna learn square roots. So square roots is basically the opposite of a number squared as an exponent. So first you can look at it as a grid right here, and it's kind of like a cube too. So we have 6 across and 6 down. So if you did 6 across and 6 down, what are you gonna get?
36.
Yep, so if I was going to take the square root of 36, which this sign, it looks like a division sign, but it has like a little tail at the end, which you can tell it's a square root. If I was to take the square root of 36, the easy way to think about it is 6 times 6 equals 36, so 36, so the square root is going to equal 6. So basically it's a measure of the sides, and the square root is the exact number multiplied by each other. Squares and square roots are inverse operations, like addition and subtraction are inverse operations of each other, just because they're opposites. So like 6 times 6 is the same thing as 6 squared, which is the same thing as
36 to the square root.
Yep, pretty much. So then 36 to the square root would be 6. Or if you have like a negative sign, you put the parentheses around it as you're doing square roots, still be 16 right here. And what would be the square root of 16?
4.
Yes. So right now, I'm going to give you a few seconds. I'm going to have you two do this first column. You two are going to do this second column. You're going to do the third column. And then at the end, we'll do these all together. So it'll be like 20, 30 seconds to do that. You can work together on it. And then just write them down.
So
You
on
got
this
it.
paper? Okay.
Yeah.
So alright, so 20, that's 5. 5, and then 6, and then that's 7, and then that's 8. And 1,
And then when you're good, just put your pencils down so I know that you're done.
Okay.
So what did you guys get for the first one?
1,
Second one?
2, 3, 4, 5,
5, 6, 7, 8.
9, 10, 11, and 12.
So if you were to find what's the square root of 169,
13,
it would be
14,
15. So it's all basically a pattern on those. Now the more challenging one is estimating square roots. So not all numbers are going to turn out to be a perfect square like those. So the perfect squares are what you just did. So we're going to figure out the pattern here, and what number should be right here, you guys are going to tell me what that is. So if I start with 1, my next perfect square would be
4.
yeah, and then we got 9, which is 3 times 3, 4 times 4, 5 times 5.
36 is 13. Yeah, that's 6 times 6. Yeah, 6 times 6. 7 times 7. 8 times 8. 81, 91. 10 times 10. 11 times 11. 12 times 12. 169. 30 times 14.
15 times 13, and then
14 times 14. 15 times 15.
so you guys got this perfect squares down pretty well. So now for approximate, we're going to do square root of 23, which it obviously, as you can tell, doesn't have a perfect square root, so it's going to be located in between two numbers. So the first step to doing this is you want to find what number is in between. So like what two perfect squares it's in between. So 23 is located in between what two perfect squares?
16 and 25.
Think of their square root, not the whole number.
1 times 4 and 5 times 5.
Yeah, so it'd be between 4 and 5. So then your second step is to find the square root of the two perfect squares, which you did, which is 4 and 5. You found it's between 16 and 25. And then step 3, you're going to find which number it's closer to on a number line. So you're going to draw a number line and put 4 and 5. And also 16 and 25, and then mark where 23 is. And you're going to tell me if 23 is closer to 16 or is it closer to 25?
25.
So you know that your approximate is going to be closer to 5 than it is to 4 when it's at a decimal point. Now the that's just if they want to bow. So step 1, you're gonna do the same thing you did again. We're still doing 23, so you know it's between 16 and 25. And then you're gonna find your 2 perfect squares. But this step 2 now, you're gonna subtract your 2 perfect squares, and that's gonna be your denominator to figure out what a more accurate measurement is. So what 2 numbers would you subtract? You're gonna subtract the 2 before you get to the square root part.
5 and 4.
Not quite before you get to the square root part.
Before. So if it's before, I don't know.
You're gonna subtract 25 minus 16 to get your denominator, which would be
9.
And then your step 3, you're gonna subtract the 2 perfect squares of those 2 numbers, so you're gonna subtract
5.
5 and 4.
yes to get your numerator. So what would your numerator be?
1.
And then you're gonna approximate that fraction as a decimal. So whatever you had, if it was like 2/4, your decimal would be 0.5, because that's half. Is it starting to make a little bit more sense? Okay, so we're gonna try this one. You can work with the people next to you, around you, you can do it by yourself. What is the most accurate square root for 54? You're done, you can raise your hand.
We're doing the one with 32.
Yeah, you can do 32. And then the next one is what is the approximated square root for 30?
So we can do, yeah. So we can, what is the approximate square root for 30? No, we can do the most accurate for 32.
Try to do the approximate so you don't have to do the whole fraction.
Okay.
It's just gonna be what 2
Oh, we
numbers
have to
in
do for
between.
32.
Alright, so what is the approximate square root?
You all have an answer for these 2? So what would be the answer to the first one?
7.
7 times 8. Because,
That would be if you're doing approximated, not the accurate one. The accurate one is when you're gonna have the fraction with it that will go into the decimal.
I mixed them up then.
Yeah. Looks a little tricky, guys. Did any of you get a fraction with it? Alright, so we'll do the fraction together. So you know it's between 7 and 8. Is it gonna be closer to 7 or is it gonna be closer to 8?
7.
So you would subtract these 2 to get your denominator. So it's 64 minus 49.
Is
50.
50.
So that would be your denominator. And then you would subtract 8 and 7. So your numerators. So, and then what's your approximated square root for 30? What number, 2 numbers in between? And which one would be closer to?
5.
5.
Yep. And so now you all have your homework. It's just 18 easy square roots and learn how to do square roots. That's it.
You don't actually have, you just have to fill it out and I'll grade it. There, I'll let you know.